Hey, Shalom, Shalom. And I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahab, Wakakadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and the bishops and elders in Connecticut, and the high priest that taught our apostles. And this Yah Demai from the Great Millstone, Houston. About to come back with you with another lesson going into divine intervention. And let's get into it. Divine intervention refers to a deity active involvement in changing events in the human world. It's the belief that a god or gods intervene to alter, end, or preserve situations that would otherwise unfold according to natural um, pr- processes. Salakia. This concept is found in various religions and belief systems, often involving miraculous events or guidance. And that deity is pretty much Yahweh Shema Shai, Yahweh Shai, you know, to that's what we need. We gonna need that in these times that we coming into. And let's get to some of the examples. Let's get to Daniel 3:23, right? And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was their Babylonian names, but their Hebrew names were Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, right? Just to confirm that, that was in the chat GPT, you know. But let's continue. Daniel 3:24. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astounded, 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 Salakia, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. And he answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. See? And the form of the fourth is like the son of Yahweh, power. Who is that? That's Yahweh Shai, right? I'm going to read 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, Yahweh power, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And that's just the point. They wasn't touched, The fire didn't consume them. You know why? Because Yahweh Shai was in there with them and they had faith, right? So that's your divine intervention right there. And let's go into one of my favorites, Isaiah 59:19. Okay, and it reads, Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Bashim Abishai from the west. Who is that? The hopefully elect, right? And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, who is that? Esau Edom with their troops, right? The spirit of Yahweh Bashim Abishai shall lift up a standard against him. Yeah. And let's get into that word standard right quick. Strong's H 51:27, and I believe it's no wise, right? Let's go to the outline of biblical usage. To flee, escape, right? To take flight, depart, disappear, to fly, to the attack. See? Yeah, man, that's gonna be your divine intervention right there. You know, take flight, disappear. You might have these assholes come into the house where you at, bust down the door. They won't see you. You might be sitting right there in the living room, and they won't see you. And you might commence them whooping that, whooping their ass. Slack you for my rude speech, but you know, they you could be doing all kind of things with them, and you might be invisible. Just touching on examples, but yeah, but that's the point. Okay, and let's get this might be the last one. 1 Corinthians 15. We'll start at 50. 1 Corinthians 15:50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Right? Because the corrupt, we in these corrupt bodies now, and they're not gonna be able to be in the, in the kingdom, and first and foremost in the chariots, right? Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, right? We shall not all die, but we shall all be changed. And that's what we're looking for, that divine intervention. Verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, right? For the trumpet shall sound, the last trump, missiles falling, about to tear up this place in America, Babylon the Great, right? And the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed, right? We're gonna be raised incorruptible in these super bodies, these um immortal bodies, I should say. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Yeah, so we're gonna come out of that corruptible body and go into an incorruptible body. We get beamed up, and have eternal life. That's that divine intervention. We gonna need that. That's what we're hoping for through Yahweh Bashim Shai, So yeah, man, I hope this been like edifying, and to the point. You just gotta keep enduring, like I always say, so we can be changed, you know. So, hey, till next time I wanna give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahab Wakakadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and the bishops and elders in Connecticut, and the high priest that taught our apostles. And hey, till next time, Shalom.